Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm. My camera's a little darker today because we're gonna do something spooky and scary. We're actually gonna make a game that looks like a maze, and you're playing the maze, and it works just like a maze game would. But when you get to a certain point, there's a jump scare. So this is a cool trick that you can play on your friends. We're going to make one together, and this is going to be the first project we put on our websites. So remember last week we made our websites here. This game we're actually going to create using Microsoft PowerPoint. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Storm, that's weird. Why are we making a video game in PowerPoint? Because it allows us to do some things that are kind of like programming without really having to write any code or do any programming. So this is an easy way for us to make something that's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I have PowerPoint open here. I want to create a new blank presentation. All right, so here in PowerPoint, we have some, just have a blank slide. This is all I'm looking for here. And I actually want to let's create a quick title slide here. Actually, no, let's create a bunch of slides. We're going to want two levels here. We're going to want two levels for our game. So we want a title slide. We want two levels. So 1, 2. We want a slide that says you failed the game, try again. So that's our fail slide. And then we're going to have our trolling, like scary jump scare slide. So we're only going to need 5 slides for this game. On this home page, I'm going to say Mr. Storm's Awesome Maze. Click the button below to begin. Okay, now I'm not going to worry too much about the design here. You guys can spend a lot more time worrying about the design. I'm not going to, because I want to get through this kind of quickly. I want to show you what we're doing and then move on. So I have my title slide here. Now I have one more thing left, right? It says click the button below to begin. So I need to actually put a button on my slide. So a button is really just a fancy word for you click on it and it does something. Pretty much most games are just buttons, right? It's just a bunch of buttons. When you click it or hover over it, it does something. And so I want to make a button. I'm going to use just a regular rectangle, and I'm going to put it down here in the corner. Now there's a reason I'm going all the way down here in the corner, and you'll see why in a second. And I'm just going to use this black thing right over here. And in the button, I'm going to type the word start. So people know, hey, that's the button. That's where you need to go. So now in order to make this go to the next slide, I'm going to grab that, go to insert, and go to action. Now action is going to be what we use to make the maze game do what we want it to do. Notice in the action settings, we have mouse click and mouse over. Mouse click, mouse over. So some of you are probably thinking, hey, couldn't we have made this in Google Slides? And no, unfortunately. We need the mouse over function in order to be able to make this game work properly, and Google Slides doesn't allow for that. So we need to do it in PowerPoint. So I'm going to keep it on mouse click because I want to actually click on it. What mouse click does is if you click it, it'll do the action. Mouse over means if you hover over it, if you even like slightly touch it, it'll do the thing. So we want mouse click. And I want to hyperlink to, and I want to go to slide 2. So slide 2. So I want to go to slide 2 whenever I click. And I don't want to play a sound. I will leave that alone there. I'm going to click OK. So now let's test this out and see if it works. So I'm going to go to my presentation, and when I click, it's going to take me to slide 2. Okay, perfect. Now on slide 2, let's get rid of these placeholders. We don't need them here. On slide 2, I'm going to build my maze. And it's really just as easy as inserting shapes to basically make the maze. But there's a couple things we need to do. So let's grab one. I'm just going to make one for now. And let's go back to that action menu. So I have this one selected. What I want to happen is if my cursor crosses into the barrier here, I want to automatically go to the you fail slide. Okay? So I'm going to, on mouse over, I'm going to hyperlink to, and I'm going to say that'll be slide 4. We'll make that slide 4. And then I also want to play a sound. I'm going to play this bomb sound. That sounds good to me. So I'll do that. So now let's run the presentation and see if that functionality works. So Mr. Storm's Awesome Maze, click Start. If I go here, if I go into the barrier there, it should take me to another slide, and it should play a bomb sound effect, which it does. Now, one thing you have to be careful with PowerPoint is if you don't move your cursor for a little while, it'll disappear and it won't show up again. So that, you know, there's some limitations to building games in PowerPoint. All right, so now I know I have one of these things that are working. So all I have to do is copy and paste, and then I can basically just start building out the maze. Now my maze is going to be incredibly easy because, again, I don't want to spend too much time, you know, you guys don't need to see me or watch me building my maze all day. So I'm just going to make a really easy maze. Do another one there. Bring that down. Do another one over here. Bring that up. Do another one over there. And bring that down a little. Okay, so now I have a very basic, easy maze. Now notice that this slide, this start button, anywhere I click in that start button, when I go to the next slide, I have that whole area open. That's why we have the start button down there, because the cursor is going to be in the same place when you move from slide to slide. So we want to start down here. So that's why the start button is down there, right? It's kind of genius if you think about it. So I'm going to start there, and then I will need to navigate through the slide. Now I need something here that will send us to the next level in the game. So again, I'm going to insert a shape. And I'll just make it like that. And you can make it like green. I'm going to make mine green. That looks good. And then we're going to set up the action. And I want this to be on mouse click again because I want them to actually click to end the level. So I'm going to do mouse click. We're going to hyperlink to, and we'll go slide. And we'll go to slide 3. Sounds good. And let's play a sound because they actually moved on to the next level. Let's play applause so that it like it cheers them on a little bit. Like, hey, yeah, you made it to the next area. Okay, cool. All right, we need to handle what happens when we lose. So let's make the you lose slide. You lost. Click below to try again. All right, cool. And then I'm actually going to grab this, copy, and paste. And it should have brought over its action, which it did. So now, let's try that again. Let's fail on purpose to see, oh, that was very close. Let's fail on purpose to see if I can get back to slide there. And then when we click try again, it'll take us right back. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, cool. Now I'm realizing that my face, my head, is probably covering up the end goal. So that's what the end goal looks like. For those of you who are like, hey, wait, your face is in the way. That's what the end goal looks like. Sorry. Yeah, maybe I'll come over here. Nah, there's really not a good place. How about up there? That looks good. We'll go up there. Got to figure out a place for me to live. All right. So on this slide, we basically just want to do the same thing. We want to, let's grab one of these. Actually, I'll grab this one. Copy. And we'll paste. And then I'm going to extend it across the entire level. And copy and paste. We'll go all the way to the top. Now you want this one to be a little more complicated, right? This is supposed to be your second level. It's supposed to be more difficult. Okay, so I'm going to just make another easy one, but just a little bit more difficult. Now, I'm not being very creative with my maze, as you can tell. I'm just kind of throwing some lines in there, just some zigzags to make it a little bit more whatever. Actually, we can make it better. Let's make it better. We've got some time. Why not? Let's get creative. do some cool stuff here. Okay, so I'm going to go that way and then copy, paste. Let's come down here. All right, and copy, paste. Let's come over this way. Right there, that looks good. Go up there. Go there. Let's see. I probably want to come all the way down here. Ooh, I'm going to need... Okay. Yeah, so down here is going to be basically my starting area. So let's make it so that here in the beginning, there we go. Just trying to make my maze just a tad bit more interesting for everybody. All right. Okay. And then I'll put, let's do one more line down here. Okay. Again, it's not the most difficult maze in the world, but that's okay. We don't really need it to be. What I do want, though, is I want to place on this... I'm going to extend that out so it doesn't look so weird. Okay, that's better. What we do want is I want a place where we have to go through it. We'll just find a place where like we have to go through that area. And I think right here is probably what I'm going to do. This is where we're going to set up, oh, hold on, our trolling section. Basically, we're going to have a section where if you try to pass through it, it's going to take you to the scary slide, okay? So let's actually, let me test this really quickly just to see if all of this is working. So start, I can fail. Let's see if I can succeed. Okay, I succeeded. And I can fail again. Okay, cool. So everything is working properly. And at this point, we basically have a good functioning game. We can even make it so that whenever they get to all the way to the end and they hit the green, they go to a slide that says, you win, yay, right? But we don't want to do that. We want to scare the pants off of them. So I'm going to go back to the internet here, and I'm going to find a really scary picture. So scary picture. And let's find a really good scary picture. Okay. Well, there's some creepy ones on here. This was a crazy meme a couple years ago, the Momo thing. That was pretty scary. That one's cool too. I like that one. I don't know. That just looks like a little girl, actually, who's just kind of dirty. Let's find a good one. Yeah. Maybe we'll use the Momo thing. Because that is kind of cool looking, actually. Is that that's what she was called, right? Momo or whatever? I don't know. I'm old. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. All right. That's kind of cool. That's kind of creepy. But it has like, let's do that. Save image as. And it kind of goes with a black and white color scheme that I've been going with. And I'll put it on the desktop. And I'm going to say scary. And I'll put it right there on my desktop. Perfect. Okay. So now here, I want to put that scary picture into this slide. So really all I have to do is just grab it and drag it in. Boom. So now I have a very scary picture. Okay. So I want this to pop up whenever we reach a certain point in the level. And like I said, I think I'm going to do it right here because it's kind of a tight area and it's going to like, they got to concentrate a little bit to go through there properly. And I want them concentrating the most whenever this thing pops up. So we're going to go with insert. And let's insert a new shape. And we can just make it a square here. Just make it so that it's pretty easy. Make it so it's impossible to get through. Now I want the fill to be white. I don't want you to be able to see it, and I want it to have no outline. So that way you can't see it. Now notice there are a couple of little, you can kind of see a little notch there where it's overlapping with the black. So you might need to bring it down just a bit and bring it up just a bit. So now it's perfectly hidden in there, right? So now no one can see it. Like you can't even see it, right? All right, so now that's there. Our hidden trigger is there. Now when something makes something happen in a game, that's called a trigger, right? So this is going to be our trigger or our event trigger for this thing we want to happen. So I'm going to have that, and then we want to go to insert, go to action. Now we want this to happen on mouse over. We're going to hyperlink to, hyperlink to slide, and we'll say slide 5, our scary slide. Now I want it to play a sound. Here's the thing though, none of these are scary. So I want to do other sound. Now, I went online earlier and I found a WAV file of a scream. So I went and I found, there are tons of websites that will let you download sound effects for free. So I found one that was a scream. It's pretty good, kind of matches the tone. So I'm going to click OK. So I've chosen that file. I'm going to click OK. Pretty scary, right? So that's going to be the sound that plays whenever we trigger our special event. Now the last thing I want is I need to make it look like there's a possibility of winning this level. So I'm going to put an end goal here so that they think, oh wait, maybe I can actually win. Okay. All right, this is going to be good. Now I'm noticing my green here has an outline around it, which I don't want. So let's go to design. Nope, not design. Shape format. And shape outline, no outline to make it kind of fit better. We'll do the same thing over here. Shape format, shape outline, no outline. All right, that looks a lot better. Okay. Now, again, I could probably spend a lot more time designing this and making it look nice, but for right now, let's just test it out. So, good. We know that that works. Yes, thank you. Okay, and I lost my cursor because I was playing around. All right, so let's go through this quickly so I don't lose my cursor. All right, so I'm concentrating. It scared me so bad. Okay, cool. So now our game is done. It works. Our jump scare thing works. Everything's good here. The problem is whenever they open up this presentation to play your game, they're going to see the slide there. And so that's going to kind of ruin the surprise. So there's actually something we can do. First of all, let's go to File. Let's save this. Actually, let's click Save As. And I'm just going to put it right on my desktop. And I'm going to name it Maze. Or let's do Cool Maze. All right. And then right here where it's asking me to save it as a PowerPoint, so this .pptx, I actually don't want to save it as that. I want to save it as a PowerPoint show, a PPSX. This means whenever you open it, it'll go straight into the presentation and you won't see any of the slides, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to click PowerPoint show and I'm going to click save. And then this is going to save it onto my desktop as a PowerPoint show. So then all we need to do is get that onto our website. So one more thing really quickly, I need an icon. I need something on my website that kind of looks like a maze so that people know they're clicking on my maze game. So I want to turn this slide here into a picture. Let's see, can I export it as I could do a PDF, video, animated GIF. Yeah, let's do a GIF. And I want to do slides. Ooh, which slide am I on? I want to do slide 3. Okay, so File, Export, and I'm going to do slides 2 and 3. Slides 2 to 3. And we'll do, yeah, we could do 1 second on each slide. And sure, sounds good. We're going to create a GIF. And we'll put it on the desktop, coolmaze.gif. Sounds good. So now we're going to go to, so now we have coolmaze.gif. And if we open it, we'll see that it actually flips back and forth between that maze and that maze and that maze and that maze. So that's kind of giving you a preview of what's in our game. All right, so let's go to our website, Mr. Storm Arcade. Okay, so I need to bring in some files here. We need to bring in our Cool Maze game, and we need to bring in our Cool Maze GIF. Okay, so now we're going to do something here. We need to create a link to the file, to the coolmaze.ppsx file. So to create a link, we're going to create something called an anchor element. So we're going to type that open Pacman and then A. Then we're going to type href equals, and then the name of the file. So for us, it's coolmaze.ppsx, because that is the actual file we want to download whenever we click on whatever it is, right? So we're going to end that. Now I'm going to hit enter, and then inside here, we're going to do another image element. So this is going to be image src equals, and it's going to be coolmaze.gif. And I'm actually going to set the width equal to, let's say 250 pixels. That should be fine. Now I'm gonna backspace one so that I'm on the same line. Notice that this line is coming up. I want to be on the same line as my anchor element because I'm gonna close it off, right? So what I've done here is I've created a link, right? And inside of the link, I've put an image. What that's going to do is it's going to put my image on the screen, and when I click the image, it's going to download the file, right? So we've just done something really cool and important. I'm going to click run and see if that works. So now I have my super cool maze. Let's look at it full screen. So I have my super cool maze game, and when I click it, notice that down here, right here, I have a file that I've downloaded, that scary picture. When I click this, it should add another file to my downloads. So I'm going to click it, and notice it just downloaded my coolmaze.ppsx. And if I click that, it's going to eventually it's going to, oh, it's because I still have it open. Oh no, there it goes. It's going to run my game. And it all works. So there we go. So now we have our first game on our website, right? So we have this cool maze that we just made. It's kind of a trolley game, and you can scare your friends with it. And they can go to your website and actually like play that game. They can click it. It'll download the PowerPoint presentation. They can just open it up and it runs. So you have made your first game, and I'm going to leave you with a nice scary image. So have fun tricking your friends, have fun making them scared. When you're done and your file is on your website, just go ahead and turn in your website just like you did last week, and then I will download your PowerPoint presentation and play it and try to scare me. Make it unexpected. Make it something scary. Make it spooky. Make it fun. All right, cool. See you guys later.